Hi, and welcome to RealClearFetish Talks RealClearPlay, a podcast that dives into kink life, sobriety, being sober, whatever is in between all that. And this week we are a little bit outside Stockholm to talk to Max. Hi, Max.
Hi, Ralph.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Enjoying the nice weather, finally. Finally gotten into spring and all the trees becoming green and stuff like that.
Yeah, same here.
So, like with every episode I do of the podcast, I start with four standard questions and then we'll just see where the conversation goes.
Okay, sounds good.
Fantastic. What do you prefer I call you? Named, pronouns, and title.
Well, my name is Max. He, him. Others call me boy or puppy. And sometimes sir.
So the boy can switch.
Yeah, the
And
boys and twins.
when we see the puppy paws on your chest as well, that's definitely an indication of there's a puppy on the camera.
Yep, rough.
Fantastic. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh, well, I live in Sweden, Uppsala. I am born in Ukraine. And I was almost 3 years old when I moved to Sweden. I started high school 2012 and finished high school 2016. And after that, I moved to my first apartment. And after my apartment, I started to work with dog daycare. So this boy working with dogs.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
That must be lots of fun.
Yeah, it is fun, a little bit exhausted. I have been there in 10 years.
Oh, wow. I ask this question to all my guests. Completely sober, clear-headed, or social drinker?
I am completely clear-headed. I don't drink. I was engaged with a guy in high school, but he's starting to drink. And I thought I'm not gonna be like him. I have drank some before, but I haven't been drunk. But I don't like to drink at all. That's why I'm clear-headed.
And just the last question, what is clear play and why is it important?
Clear play for me is don't use drugs when you're gonna play with others. Be clear-headed and know what's going on. That haven't happened to me yet, so that's good. I know a friend of mine used drugs to play, and I thought, you don't know what's gonna happen if you use drugs when you play with others. So I never use drugs at all when it comes to play. So I would say don't use drugs.
Yeah, if it's been that easy for me, I don't know. So you say you moved to Sweden when you were almost three and you're originally from the Ukraine. So I'm assuming you're adopted or
I am adopted. Yes. Oh, uh, my I asked my parents, "Am I adopted?" And they said, "Yes, you are." At first, I thought, "No, you're joking." I was so angry at them, and I didn't talk to them in maybe 1 week. But then I understand. Well, they did this for me, and I guess they don't want to have own children, and so they got me, a little cute boy. Well, I guess.
Oh no, you're very cute, that's for sure. Do you have any contact with any family in Ukraine?
I don't, but I think my parents who are in Ukraine maybe cannot have me because maybe they are poor or something like that. I haven't think about that, and to be honest, I don't know if I want to know them. When I was little, I thought, who are my parents in Ukraine? But I have my family here in Sweden, and I love them.
Well, that's like when we talk about gay people, we do chosen family, and adoptive parents, yes, we don't have they're not blood relation, but they are your parents. They took care of you.
I remember I told one of my best friends that I am adopted, and she said, "Oh, so they are not your real parents?" And I thought, "Yes, they are. They have taken care of me since I was little. So, do you have a problem with that?" And she said, "No, no, no." And I remember my ex boyfriend for many years. He said, "They are not your real parents. Why are you with them?" And I thought, "They are my real parents. So stop asking me that and stop saying that."
Yes, they're not biologically your parents, but they are your real parents. That's the people you grew up with, the people who fostered you,
Yeah.
made you into the person you are today. And I guess there's also, I'm not that I could imagine how it might feel. It's almost a little bit special that, well, they
Yeah,
got you, so so they wanted someone, they wanted a child.
exactly. I asked my mom for, when was that? Maybe 4 or 5 years. Why did you got me? And she said, "We thought you were a cute, innocent little angel." And yes, I was a cute little angel, to be honest. Uh,
Not so much anymore.
no, well, sometimes.
Sometimes.
I am kind of naughty, to be honest. Okay, very naughty. Surprise. But I am still their son and still their baby.
I don't think that
So
ever changes, no matter how old you get.
yeah.
Do you have any recollection of Ukraine? Because you were just around 3, so you're probably too young to remember anything.
Let me think. No, I don't. I did have a friend who is in the same home as me, but I haven't heard from him since maybe 6, 7 years now. To be honest, I don't care what he's doing. So, but no, I don't. My parents asked me, "Do you want to go to Ukraine and see how it is now?" And I thought, no, I don't. I'm happy where I am.
Yeah, Ukraine is not a great place at the moment. So yeah, maybe not go there right now.
No, that's true. That's true. Maybe in the future, maybe, but not right now.
So you say you went to college. What education did you do?
Oh God. I did animal, nature, and something else. I don't remember the name of it. God, my teacher would kill me if I'm saying wrong now. But I I know it was animals and nature and some other stuff.
Well, the other stuff probably not important anyway. And now you work with dogs.
Mhm. Yeah,
Well, what kind of work do you do with dogs?
just walking with them and give them food and sometimes training them. We have 4 dogs who need to be trained and they are puppies. Today, one of the puppies barked one through my ears and oh God, I got deaf again. But yeah, I love animals. I have always do that.
Is it like a dog shelter or
No, it's a dog daycare. The owners came to the work and we taken the dogs from them and we asked them, is it anything we need to know what happened or need to do? And if they say, yes, you need to know about this, we have to tell the others at work.
so this is like a doggy hotel when people go on holiday?
Almost, or when they have to go to work.
Ah, okay.
Um,
Now I get you.
I remember a customer came with her dog and said, "Can I leave my dog here for maybe a couple of hours?" And my boss said, "Yeah, we can take care of your dog in a couple of hours." And we did. But it only came almost when we closed the work at 6 p.m. But they have a code to our work, so she could go in and pick her dog. Someone is there if it's needed.
Oh, that's really cool. So where in Sweden are you?
In Uppsala.
Where can you tell me how close is that to maybe like Stockholm? I don't actually know where that might be.
It takes maybe, I think it's 45 minutes with train from Uppsala to Stockholm, but I'm not sure. I don't like to take the train.
So do you go to Stockholm often or
I feel to go to Stockholm. I'm gonna try to go to a puppy event in Stockholm in maybe a couple of weeks, but then I have to take the train. I hope not.
not a big fan of trains?
No, I hate trains. A long story. So, but if I'm gonna meet a friend who lives in Stockholm, I need to take the train. So, or they can come to Uppsala, but that never happened.
There's
Happened.
there's not enough going on for people in Stockholm to come out to Uppsala, I'm sure.
No, they are kind of lazy.
Yeah, yeah, it's a little bit like here in London. If it's on one side of the Thames, people want to travel for it. If it
Yeah.
takes more than 30 minutes to travel to, then people tend to not really want to travel. Is that where you grew up?
In Uppsala?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm still living in Uppsala, so that's good. I remember a friend of mine, she asked me if I want to move to Stockholm with her and her girlfriend, and I said, no, I'm good. Stockholm is kind of too much people and lots of traffic, and I hate that. And you need to take the subway if you need to go to work, and I don't like that.
You mentioned a long story, the reason you don't like trains. Can I poke you and ask you what is it with the trains you don't like?
My mom and a friend of her with her own kid, they forgot me on the train or the subway. And my mom was panicked and I was freaking out. I remember, Mom, I don't want to go on the subway anymore. I want to go home. And I was crying. But I have been better now, but I'm still hate that.
Stuff like that will sit in you even into adulthood if it's something that freaked you out at the time.
I'm still learning. It's okay. You're not a kid anymore. You are grown now, but the memories are still coming back.
How old were you at the time?
I was probably 8 or 9, I think.
Well, like that could be scary. I could imagine if I was 8 or 9 getting lost on the underground here in London, that would be scary. So that's fully understandable. So you mentioned you are planning on going to a puppy event. Where in Stockholm would that be?
Remember the name of the street, but it's in SLM. So that is our ladder club
Hmm.
in Stockholm. So, but I would try to go there. Some friends of mine have asked me if I want to go, and I said, yeah, I think I can. But I guess they're gonna make me go.
You like puppy play and you're a boy and so on. When did you start having those interests?
I remember, well, first saw a puppy. I think that was in our ladder club in Stockholm, or was it in Stockholm Pride? I don't remember exactly. It was a long time ago. And I thought, that looks fun. But I am a puppy sometimes when I want to be, not all the time.
Hmm.
I just figured out, I think I'm more like a leather man than a puppy or a leather boy. I remember when I first met other puppies, that was 2020, I think. I didn't have my own puppyhood, so one of the guys told me I could borrow his puppyhood, and I thought, okay, thank you. And when I first put it on, I feel like a dog, but I was a little bit shy. Now it's look good, to be honest. I don't wear my puppy hood so much because I get sweaty and I don't hear so good with those on. So, like I said, I am a puppy when I want to be.
See, I used to be a puppy, and I definitely still have my puppy persona is called Rocco, and sometimes he comes out, depends on the guy I'm with. So I very much like I categorize myself as a switch. I can be submissive, I can be dominant, primarily dominant because it's in some aspects I need to feel safe with the person I'm with when I do submit. Primarily dominant because, until I know someone very well. With the puppy thing, so have you so what is your favorite kink? What do you like to do? Is it
So
is it leather, rubber, skinhead gear?
it is leather. I remember I tried rubber for the first time by a friend. I don't remember, but I think my skin was kind of red, but I'm not sure because he have terrible light. I think I cannot wear rubber, but I'm gonna try again. And I like bondage. Sometimes impact play, but not so hard
Hmm.
because I get let bruises and I cannot go to work and they are gonna ask me, what happened to you?
You could just say, I fell down the stairs. It's fine.
Well, I did that one time because my set was bruised because I don't remember, but I think a dome at the one time whipped me or something like that. I don't remember. And I got bruised and I thought, oh God, what am I gonna say? And I just said, oh, I fell down on the stairs, or I my cat used his claws and walk on me or whatever.
You can make all sorts of stories up. I have a sub where last time I played with him, he wanted me to make bruises on his chest,
Mhm.
but it was so it could be seen when he went to the gym, so people could see
Uh,
he'd been beaten up. So he wanted people to see it.
nice.
Oh, he was very proud of it. He was sending a picture of it when he was at the gym. It's like, look, I have my tank top up. You can see it.
I remember my mom saw them on me and she panicked. And I thought, Mom, what's wrong? And she said, what happened to you? And I said, oh, well, okay, I lied that time, and I said, well, my boyfriend and I did have a little bit of fun, and he accidentally dropped a book on me.
Dropped a book on you.
Well, I cannot say, I just said a book. I don't know why.
It
I
was a
think,
heavy book.
well, I got a little bit panicked once he asked. And then my dad came inside the room, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna freak out.
It's fun when all of a sudden there's this disconnect between your kinky life and your family life, and all of a sudden those lines get a bit blurred. And what do you say? I'm lucky enough that my mom, she's seen my dog cage. It's not a problem. She's like, and she's very, very relaxed.
That's good. I remember I was meeting my cousin and his wife and their three kids. I forgot I had my puppy hood on my back. And one of the kids asked me, Uncle Max, what is this? And I thought, oh God, that's for Halloween. And my cousin said, Max, what is that? Well, I'm a puppy. Surprise. And then I have to explain to him what that is. And oh, okay. And the kids are kids, so they didn't understand what it was. So thank God.
They just moved on. Oh, he just has a mask. It's fine.
Well, not exactly moved on.
Oh,
They asked me to put it on and be a dog.
oh no.
And we were in a park in Uppsala, and it was a lot of people. And I thought, oh God, what have I done? So I did, and I barked, and yeah, it was kind of like an experience. A little bit awkward because it came five real dogs in the park, and they started to bark, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna take it off. Right.
Oh no. Oh well. You make sure you don't have your puppy hood on you now, I'm assuming.
No. But I was actually, when I met them, I was finished with a play date. And I completely forgot I have my puppy out. So I thought, okay, well, I think the kids are not gonna found it on my back. But they did.
Of course they did. Kids do. They find a lot of things. So you mentioned at the start that you have had alcohol, but you've never been drunk. Is there any particular reason that you prefer not to drink?
Well, I can say this. If I get drunk, I don't know what's gonna happen, if I gonna be not or if I gonna be violent to anyone. And I don't want that. I remember a very old friend of mine, I don't have contact with him anymore. He got drunk and was like, he was crazy. And I thought, I'm never gonna be like that. Never ever. So I decided I'm not gonna drink at all. Some people have asked me if I want a beer or something like that. And I said, no, I take Coca-Cola Zero or Pepsi Max or whatever.
It's important, and especially when you go into social situations where there can be a little bit of pressure to drink, it can be difficult. For anyone watching and listening, Sweden has, like, you're drinking, you have a specific place where you buy the alcohol. It's nowhere else. Can you tell me what, I can't remember the name of the places where you drink, where you buy the alcohol.
It called Systembolaget.
Systembolaget, yes. So it's what how would you describe the drinking culture in Sweden? When you have like a section where you go and buy it there, is it very expensive?
I would say yes. Now the prices have got higher, so now it's more expensive. And if it's a event or pride, I know some people like to drink a lot, and I thought, gosh, you're gonna hurt someone or hurt yourself if you're drinking. But I can say it's kind of expensive. I know the prices are more higher now.
When you go, for example, to SLM in Stockholm, just so people know, SLM stands for Scandinavian Leather Men, which is also a bar or a club that's in Copenhagen under the same name. There's also one in Oslo, as far as I remember. So it's, I don't think they have anything to do with each other besides the name. They're not a chain of bars, but they just have the same name. So how do you find when you're sober in that environment and some people are drunk around you, can you deal with that normally? Is that fine for you?
Well, I can say yes and no. If someone is very drunk on me and go to me and or like on me all the time, and then I say, you know what, you need to go somewhere else or don't talk to me. Or I will tell someone who work in this guy is da da da, you know. But when I am in SLM, I'm more like with friends, talking with them. I remember I was talking to a friend of mine in SLM, and some drunk man just grabbed my butt with no asking. I thought, don't do that. You're drunk. Go somewhere else. And I was not happy when he did that.
Yeah, I think it's important, and I think a lot of bars nowadays have signs up. It's like leather trousers doesn't mean consent.
He just grabbed my butt, and I thought, you didn't ask me. I think he didn't even care.
It's so important. Even if someone is in chaps with an ass out, that doesn't mean you can grab the ass. If you have
Yeah.
eye contact and you're flirting with the eye contact, then you don't necessarily have to have a verbal agreement about he can grab your ass. But if you are inviting, that's fine. But if you're walking past with your ass out, that it doesn't give you go ahead to grab someone's ass. I've definitely been in clubs where I've had chaps on and someone slipped a finger up my bum.
Oh,
Yeah, which
mm,
is not great. I think that's it's very important that gear is not an equal to consent. It's not so you can go up and touch and over friendly if you have not actually engaged in any way.
And that's why I don't like to only wear my jockstraps on, because you never know what's gonna happen if someone is gonna grab your ass or stick up your finger or a dick or whatever.
Yeah.
So don't do that. Ask for permission, consent.
So you mentioned in your little text you wrote to me that you have a daddy.
Yeah, he lives in San Francisco near the Castro, and is amazing, wonderful. I went to San Francisco last year in September
Mhm.
for the first time. I thought, okay, I'm in love. And he's nice, handsome, sexy, a little bit silly sometimes, but I love him. It was fun. He showed me around in San Francisco, so that was amazing.
How is it navigating being bored to a daddy who lives so far away?
Sometimes it's hard because he's over there and I'm over here, but we do that all the time. I wrote to him about maybe a couple of minutes ago and said, I'm gonna do an interview to a podcast, so I will text you later. Daddy, love your boy. So,
What do you think he will say to you being on a podcast?
well, he said, okay, do you know him? Is he gonna ask you a good question? I said, yeah.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah, one is a little bit overprotective.
Of course, and every good daddy should be overprotective. Absolutely. Well, this is one of the things we've talked about before starting the interview is like if there was anything you were uncomfortable with, I would want you to tell me. And I think that's important with any form of interview. You have to be comfortable in the setting and also because we talk about subjects that can be tricky, like alcohol, drug use, all sorts of stuff. And I think that's important.
Yeah.
But we're coming to the end of the episode, and it's absolutely been lovely to talk to you. So, just to round the episode off with a little two fun questions. One, what is your favorite piece of gear you have?
Oh, I will say my leather jacket and my leather jockstraps that I have today.
Did you buy them yourself or did you inherit them from someone else?
I the leather jacket I buy for myself, and the jockstraps was from a friend of mine. He gave it to me on my birthday.
Oh, very nice. And as you work with dogs and you are a puppy yourself, what type of dog are you?
Oh, I don't know, Ralph. I really don't know. That is a good question. I'm gonna actually make question and ask my friends on Instagram what dog I am, and we will see what I am.
Yeah, we'll see what they come up with. We can add that to the text afterwards as a little bracket. We found out what type of dog he is after the interview.
Yeah. Some people have said I am a Amstaff, and maybe I am.
Well, Amstaff gets a bad reputation, and they're the most loving dogs you can come out close to. They're not as dangerous as people think. So
Mhm.
maybe that fits you quite well.
Yeah, they're a little bit naughty like me. So yeah.
I was about to say this is going to come out a little bit later in the year, but it's filmed on the first day of the first semi-final of Eurovision, and I know Eurovision is huge in Sweden. Are you going to be watching it, or do you not like Eurovision?
I will give it a try to watch it. I know good friend of mine would kill me if I missed it, so I'm gonna watch it.
Fantastic. Well, Sweden's in there and they're competing tonight, so we'll see if they get through or not. But as this is in the future, they might have won already. You never know. Well,
Will it?
you sent a song where they're singing Finnish, so that's exciting.
But I think they're gonna change the text or the language. I'm not sure what.
I think they're singing in Sweden and Finnish. I don't think they translated it for once. So it should be interesting to see how it goes because native language songs, it's not always it works.
Yeah, well, we will see what's gonna happen on Eurovision. So
Well, that's the thing. You never know what's going to happen. And if anyone's watched or listened and they really connected with something you've said, where can they get a hold of you?
they can get a hold of me on my Instagram, LeatherMax2026, if I don't say it wrong now.
But yeah, it's lever
Yeah.
underscore max 2026. It's a hard one to remember. Yes, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
And I'm kind of tired after a long day of the work, so my brain is not working right now.
That's fine, not a problem. Thank you for coming on to the podcast. It's been absolutely lovely to talk to you.
Thank you for having me. It was fun.
And that was Max this week. And I'll be back in 2 weeks' time with another guest where we talk about all sorts of stuff. Like this week with Max, it's been absolutely lovely to talk to someone who takes care of the dogs, and he's a puppy, and he's a bit naughty, and he's absolutely lovely to talk to. So I'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Go out and have fun, be safe, and be kinky. Bye.